So this represents who you think you are, right? And then, but this is who you really are. Now think about that for a minute. Now, the only place that you can be messed with, tormented, anger, fear, all that stuff like that, or deceived, is in the distance between those places. So most things in life try to get you to think you're something, just so that you'll never know who you really are, right? Yep. And then they torment you in the distance between the two.
Yeah.
But if who you think you are is really who you are, and you know that, that's what the red words are for, right?
Right.
Then there's no space for anybody to deceive you or mess over you.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the gist of what we're always talking about. Welcome to the RedIn30 podcast, where we talk about Jesus, truth, and us, all using red words.
Using red words. Black.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here.
What's up?
What's up?
Yeah.
That's me. Every time I hear someone say "What's up," it be like, "Hey, y'all, what's up?" Y'all know Just Hilarious?
No.
Y'all don't know Just?
I know her.
But somebody listening is gonna know. Hey, y'all, what's up? And then she start talking crazy on the thing. It's funny.
Oh.
Y'all look it up after this. But anyway,
Hey, y'all, what's up?
hey y'all. She go, "Hey, y'all, what's up?" Every time.
Never heard it.
I'm gonna send y'all a link.
I do that every time too.
You be like, "What's up?" You gotta just add the "Hey, y'all." Hey, y'all.
Hey y'all. What's up?
Yeah. So we RedIn30. We're here. It's episode
26. Oh.
26.
26. Right.
Excuse my regular.
Regular English.
version. English
My
standard
bad.
version.
You better get this Espanol.
Right. But we're here, RedIn30, episode 26, and we're rolling. It's great as always. How are y'all feeling? Y'all feeling good? Y'all good?
That's a good day.
I feel good as always.
Yeah.
good.
I'm excited about
Fresh.
today and tonight's podcast. It's going to be cool.
Oh, yeah.
So we're here with the Pastor Jay.
Yeah.
Come
yeah.
on. Gunshots. We're here with the lovely Nakia. Do you like lovely Nakia, or would you like to say Nakia sometimes, or would you like to say?
Nakia is fine.
Okay.
You
all right,
know?
Because every time she not lovely.
I mean,
let's see.
I'm always lovely.
Isn't she
You know?
lovely? Isn't she lovely?
Oh my God.
I'm gonna went through the whole song, man. We do not own this music. We do not own all this
I
music.
forgot.
Oh my God. You
So-
two police.
So right. So episode 26, we're here.
And we are here with the bro.
Yeah.
DM Stay Fresh.
DM Stay
Hey.
Fresh. I like that. Shout out to Nakia with DM Stay Fresh.
Get the gear.
Get the gear, stay fresh, no clout, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Cat free. So RedIn30. I be saying this every week. Like, you think people? Well, sometimes some episodes of some people first time hearing it, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's good to say it, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
I
I
be
think
like,
it's needed.
I know people that probably listen all the time, be like, here we go, we got to go on this spiel. But I think most things that I see that stay consistent, like episodes or like they don't change their intro music.
True.
They be like, oh, here go this music again. They just, it'd be like
That's your power, and you switch it up, and everybody hate it.
everybody hate it,
Switch
right?
it back.
Shout out Trey Songz. So, oh my God, bro. Oh my God.
Hey, 2 songs, that's the limit.
But I mean, like on Netflix, you'd be like, just skip the intro. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we need to do a skip
Absolutely.
intro type thing too. But
Skip
anyway,
intro.
it don't happen at the same time with us. So anyway, RedIn30, RedIn30.com. RedIn30 is a 30-day reading of the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We call them the red words. They are different perspectives of walking with Jesus and Jesus' life and his words. We love the entire Bible. We believe that the Bible is a story about us, about you. But we believe the red words show us who we really are in the story. So that's why we focus on the red words so much.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a 30-day reading. It's about 3 chapters a day. The cycle today is like the 23rd, so it's like on on day 23 right now. And we're just keeping over there. We start fresh every month. 24? We're on day 24 right now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, we started because, okay, cool.
Yeah, they had an extra day in January.
They did.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on day 24. And but that's the gist. It's Jesus, truth, and you, all using red words. So that's what we're doing. I thank God for different perspectives, so that you don't have to take one person's word for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you meld all the perspective, melt them all together, you see, you get a full version of what's what.
Yeah.
Y'all get me? Are y'all hearing me good?
A little bit.
I need a little bit more mic.
Yeah, not too great. I was just
So-
thinking about it.
Yeah, so I can hear myself more in the room than in the microphone. So, it's better?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, RedIn30, here we are. So, today's episode is going to be dope. Yeah, one up. New life, huh? New life. Mario, brother. One up. So, today's episode is going to be dope. I think it's cool Once again, it's always about being, right? Like,
Yeah.
like it's always about like really knowing who you really are.
Yep.
Always the moral of the
And
story.
the trick, it's always a moral story. And the trick, the only place you get tricked is in believing that you're something that you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. True
I did this last week and it helped me, and it may help y'all too. But in life, if you use your fingers, and y'all maybe watch it, use your fingers, this represents who you think you are. Right?
Right hand finger.
Right hand finger. So so this represents who you think you are. Right? And then, but this is who you really are. Now think about that for a minute. Now, the only place that you can be messed with, tormented, anger, fear, all that stuff like that, or deceived, is in the distance between those places. So most things in life try to get you to think you're something, just so that you'll never know who you really are. Right? And then they torment you in the distance between the two.
Yeah.
But if who you think you are is really who you are, and you know that, that's what the red words are for, right?
Right.
Then there's no space for anybody to deceive you or mess over you.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the gist of what we're always talking about. And it's funny that we're talking about the distance in between the two places, because today's
Yeah, it's good.
episode
Is
we're talking about living in the layers.
In the layers.
In the layers. All right, so I'll break it down, right? So we all have clothes on right now.
yes, we do.
Thank goodness, right? We all have clothes on.
Thank God.
And your clothes are, right now you might have right now I have a sweatshirt on, then a t-shirt, and have pants, and have underwear, and then you have shoes, you have socks, right? There's layers, right?
Yep.
And that's good to have layers on when it's cold outside, different things like that.
More layers, the better.
Right? More layers the better when it's cold outside, right? But my clothes don't make up who I am. The layers that I have on are not my skin. And even my skin is not the most vital part of my body.
Right.
Once again, everybody, people don't know that, but your skin is your largest organ, by the way. But that's still not your insides.
Yeah.
And so definitely the layers, your shirt you got on, the sweatshirt. But we live off of labels. We are a society that lives in a label.
Word.
And what you wearing, what you rocking today, what
Yeah.
you got on,
Hate it.
who you wearing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Wear this kind of clothes. You got to wear this type of clothes all the time. You got to do that. And so we pretty much live in what we see on the outside in the layers. And we live in layers. But the layers are not truly who you are. You can't take a shower or clean yourself with your layers on.
Right.
Right? That's a crazy thought, right?
Yeah.
Go jump in the shower right now and be like, I'm gonna clean. Like some soap might get to you,
Yeah.
but you probably still be musty when you're finished. And those other parts of your body that need some extra attention, they won't get it,
They won't get it.
right?
Can't get there.
They won't get it because of the layers. And so I think, but sometimes we can get caught up on just layers,
Yeah.
and we're so much caught up on that we never see the truth about what's really under there.
If you think less about it too, because you don't even see it,
Right.
because it's covered up.
Right.
So-
Right. Sometimes some things that you should pay attention to, you don't,
Right.
because you got it covered up and out of sight, out of mind. That's the old statement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't even think about it. I think sometimes our lives are like that. Not I think I know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's do a little quiz, right?
Okay.
And y'all can do it at home, right? So and everybody can do it in the room. So, real quick, name, because layers. The roles that you play in life are your layers.
Yeah.
All right. There's layers to your life.
Also, like the different hats people wear.
Different hats you wear. All right. So name some of the hats that you might wear in life towards people.
Sister.
Pastor.
Pastor J. Right. Like
friend.
brother,
Friend.
friend,
Confidant.
confidant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Boss.
saying? Boss. Right. You know what I'm saying? Then you got now you go to that lane. You
Mentor,
like
maybe?
creative. You know, a musician, different stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Designer.
Design, all these different things, these labels and titles that we like to wear, and we're not making them obsolete.
Right.
But some people wear the father
Yeah.
hat, like fathers or mothers.
Right.
Some people husbands and wives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Boyfriend, girlfriend,
Yeah.
fiance,
real
fiance. That's the same word for both of them.
They
right?
not real labels.
Yeah. Boyfriend, girlfriend. Not
That's
really.
not real.
They really
Yeah,
not.
it's a real thing. It's a real. It ain't real, but
Yeah. People
in
wear it.
society, yeah,
Yeah.
they wearing it like they wearing these imaginary clothes.
Invisible. It's invisible
Cotton
layers.
candy sweatshirts.
Ain't real till it's on paper.
And some of it still ain't real when they get on there.
I mean,
They
let's be
burn
real.
that paper.
It's another story.
That's another podcast.
It's another layer.
But the layers, but I think sometimes, and we'll kind of jump into what Jesus kind of talked about it, but I think sometimes we get caught up living in the layers.
Yeah.
So we're so caught up. It's almost like with going back to the clothes. It's like washing your clothes, taking care of your clothes, being so concerned, hanging them up and ironing them, and being so concerned and folding them right, but you're not taking care of your body.
Right.
Like,
That's the least of it. Should be the least of your concern.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Are you not taking care of your body? Or you're not taking care of your health? All right, let me go.
That's good.
Let me go back. Let me say something that's pretty funny to me. I had so many dope clothes in my closet, but because of how the direction that my body went in,
Okay.
these dope clothes couldn't fit anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
They were dope layers,
Yeah, I can relate.
dope layers, but because of the direction that my physicality went in,
It went right.
it went right or left, right, or up, right. Now those layers didn't matter because of what was really going on with me. Now it happens positive the same way. I went the other way too. Your body start going back the right way. Then not those layers, but they did.
Hate it.
They couldn't make me though.
Yeah, right.
So it's
Yeah.
almost like doing that. And most of our lives, we live in this fabricated society where you major in the minor and minor in the major. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You give more importance to the things that I won't say they don't matter, but they matter less than
Yeah.
Yeah.
some of the things that
Pale
do.
in comparison.
Yeah, they pale in comparison. So now here we are living life like that. You get what I'm saying? And so your role. So you said
Yeah.
pastor, right? You said sister, right? Daughter, friend. You know what I'm saying? Brother, right? All these different things, right?
Yeah.
Leader. All these roles that we like to have, right? Sometimes I know that we get caught up living in the layers.
Absolutely.
Layers come with expectations.
Oh my goodness.
They come with
Judgments.
lists.
Judgments.
Yeah. Judgment. They
What you say?
yeah.
Yep. All that.
Yeah, a lot of people, they
Yeah,
find comfort in the layers too.
They find confidence in the layers, right? They find confidence in the layers. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Because instead of changing the temperature, you put the layers on. If you change the temperature, everything in the whole room will change. That's crazy, ain't it? Confident in the layers. That's dope.
Makes me think too, like the deeper you go, it's like it'll what's really underneath all those layers will eventually catch up with you.
Right.
It'll actually catch up to, let's say, whatever role you're playing as a sister,
Right.
pastor,
Right.
leader.
Right.
Like further down, what's going on under there you may not be paying attention to, but it'll eventually affect the type of layer you are
Right.
as
right.
a leader, as a pastor.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So you
So like
talking.
subconscious, basically.
You got a whole other phase of what you're saying right now. We're going to get into that, John, because there are some things. There's layers, and then there's some things that gotten in. The truth about it is the truth is the core.
Yeah.
It's one with God, right? So I'm one with
Yep.
God, you know what I'm saying? I'm one with Jesus, right? That's the truth of who I am, right?
Right.
That's the core from what everything should live from,
Yeah.
right? But somewhere in between that and these other layers that I wear, there's other things that have been planted in our minds. The fears,
Yeah.
anxieties, the worries, the insecurities. And we got them we probably got them from a layer relationship.
Yeah.
You get that? Like, give me a layer relationship. You said daughter. So it
Yeah.
might be your relationship with you and your mom. Right? You said pastor. So it might be like a relationship with you and the members. For example, you and the elders, whatever it is, right? So now, somewhere along the line, something can happen between you and somebody else in that layer that causes you to think something about yourself. Right? And if you don't bring every thought to the obedience of the truth of who you are,
Yeah.
Christ, right? Then that thought that you picked up in that layer could actually start making you think that's who you are.
Yep.
And it lays right there. And if it's not dealt with, it'll come up to the surface. It's almost like funk always rises. Like
Yeah.
you can put new clothes on and you can put deodorant over it, but that funk gonna come out.
It is. It's gonna seep through.
It's gonna seep through, and somebody
you-
gonna know.
And you might
They're
be
not
cool.
gonna tell you.
You might be cool for a moment because you like overdo it, like you kind of masking with the abundance of other fragrances, but they go kind of wear off a little bit. But
Yeah.
then even with that, like the funk attached to that sweet fragrance, like it's worse than just the funk by
It's
itself.
worth. It's like a whole nother funk.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
whole
it's
other thing that's
yeah,
been
it's a whole nother
created.
Yeah, you have like a that little thing. You have an expiration time. Like, all right, I got about an hour.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Don't dance too hard in church right now, cause
Oh, bro.
You see
That's
them
what
coming
come
for
on.
you.
Can't do it.
can't do it. Raise your hands. I'm not gonna do this. I'm right there. I'm gonna keep that covered. But it's the layers, and so we begin to live so much in the layers. Now somebody will listen to it and say, "You crazy? Blah blah blah. You gotta do this as a daughter. You gotta do this as a pastor. You gotta do this as
Really,
a
that's the
husband."
that's the problem we're talking about.
That's
what
the
you think
problem.
you have to do
in the layer,
in the layer.
right? And now you're living your life in the layers, and in the layers where you suffocate.
What's crazy too is like, you was talking about things that were put in you. So, your layers started when you were younger and they've matured.
Yep.
So
Your layers grown.
yeah, some layers seem so a part of you. Like how dare you take that apart?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what,
and
what
rebuild something that you think was a part of who you are from the beginning. Maybe it's not. If we
Maybe
if we
it
go
wasn't a part of you from the
deeper,
beginning. Right. Right.
what you think that relationship is supposed to be like might be wrong.
So what do you think feeds the layers?
The lie.
Wait,
Bro,
wait.
that boy went slow motion too. He was like,
I thought about.
lie.
Hey, I hate one of yours. I looked up.
He was thinking about it.
I think deception.
Either the lie or the truth can feed the layer.
Well,
when you say
well,
that,
okay, all right, that's good.
yeah.
So one of them can feed the layer,
Okay.
right? Even the old thing talking about there's a black dog and a white dog on the inside of you. Whatever one win is the one that you feed the most. You ever heard that old thing?
You've
my life.
never heard
Jeremiah,
that
you've
before?
never heard that before, Jeremiah?
Yes, you
two
have.
dogs on the inside of me,
What?
and whichever one I
There's a
feed
white
them,
wolf.
they fighting.
There's a white wolf
Yeah.
and a black wolf. You never heard that
What?
before?
You're
Bro,
joking.
I've never had a white wolf or a black wolf.
I know you
inside
ain't
of me.
got that. But I'm saying
And nobody
that's
never
crazy.
told me that.
You heard about the devil and the angel on your shoulder?
I mean, I used to see it on Family Matters.
But you,
Oh
you
my God! Of all the places to pick it from, them boys said
Hey,
Family
I got a bunch of
Matters.
people never even seen Family
With
Matters.
Urkel?
Matters. Lord.
He's always have it on the shoulders.
Well, it's whatever one you succumb to. So whatever one you listen. So what can feed your layers? I'm not saying get rid of the layers because you can't. Actually, in actuality, you can't. It's like saying let's go back to eating, let's get naked. Nobody's gonna walk outside
the
living.
legs
naked.
got purpose.
Layers got purpose.
And we're not saying you won't change how you respond to certain like you literally playing roles
Right.
on different layers for a reason.
Right.
So I'm
Right.
not about to talk to my mama the same way I talk to my friend.
Right.
Like
Right.
that's cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't saying you got to be.
But I guess, and yeah, right. So what feeds that layer, right? And your choice, your the truth about what you know,
Yeah.
is gonna be the thing that feeds it.
Yeah.
So if you know who you really are from the core, then your motherhood, your fatherhood, your pastoring, your friendship, your daughter, your boss, your confidant, all these different things will be fed from the right place,
Yeah.
as opposed to being fed from insecurities. You get it?
Yeah.
So I always go. Everything goes back to the same place
Yep.
of knowing who I am in Christ and the truth about Christ. It goes into my oneship with God, and I think Jesus talked a lot about the layers, and he was trying to get you to overcome. It's not. So can I throw one out, y'all, real
Yeah.
quick? Okay.
Yeah.
So Matthew 6. All right. Now, even before I go back to Lord's Prayer, he goes and he says, "Take no thought what you're gonna eat, what you're gonna wear, what you're gonna drink." He goes on through the whole spiel. He take care of the flowers and the birds. They don't think about that. So will he not take more of you? He said, "But seek first the kingdom of God." It's God's way of doing things. It's really your identity. It's really who you really are with God, right? Seek that first. And then he says, "For your Father knows you have need of all these things."
Yeah.
The same things that he said, don't take no thought for. And then he said, after that, seek first the kingdom of God is right, and all these layers
Yeah.
will be added. So it's not that the layers are not important, and not that the layers don't have purpose, and not that the layers don't come from God. But he says, don't live in the layers. Don't let the layers identify you. Right?
Yep.
Now, if you just identified as a daughter, right? Or I'm just use the first two we said. You said daughter, you said pastor, right? Let's just say you identified in every relationship, every person, everything you do, everywhere you go, you identified all right, let's do this. Use your imagination. You only identified as a daughter in every relationship that you have. You only identify as a pastor everywhere you went.
I wouldn't like it.
You wouldn't have no friends, though.
You wouldn't
bro.
like it, and nobody else would like it. I'll be like, boy, you gonna sit down somewhere. Man, what happened to my friend, man?
Where did he go?
And then like, just imagine being a daughter in every situation.
People would run you.
They run you,
You
be a
always be
pushover,
looking
right.
for somebody to tell you what to do.
You always have an attitude.
No, for real, man.
Can't you be asking for permission for everything?
That's true.
Can I have some?
Right.
Your room clean.
Your room clean. Did you finish your food? Finish your vegetables? Right? It's like stuff like that. And that seems crazy, but we live in these roles. And we turn them on. And, people sometimes people go to the doctor, and I'm not making fun of this, what I'm about to say. But sometimes people go to the doctor, and they're diagnosed with schizophrenia. The truth of the matter is, that's everybody. Because you're playing all these different kind of roles. Well, it is if you don't know who you truly are.
Yeah.
You get it? So if you don't know who you truly are, then you just turn it on.
Yeah.
I've done that. I've done that. Maybe not so much like I'm out of my mind. Like
You got
schizophrenia.
lost in the layers of schizophrenia?
Well, I would do so much. Not
checking on you.
schizophrenia. Don't be talking about that with
He
schizophrenia.
checking on you. He making sure you straight.
But I didn't. No, it gets close.
Clarify.
It gets close sometimes.
Are you all right? Do I need to put on my pastoral right now?
In a minute.
It gets close. It gets close, man. I can imagine it get close because there were times in my life where I was playing 10 of different positions at one time. And if you don't, it pushed me. I thank God for it. It pushed me to be broken down to go back to that place of, you know what I'm saying, the one-ship with God. I would have never known that had I not been pushed there. But you can get to the place where you're playing all these different things. You talking to this person, I got to talk to him a certain way. I got to talk to him a certain way. I got to talk to her a certain way. I got to talk to them a certain way. They want me to do this. Then I got to look like this, and I got to wear this over here, and I got to be on time for this. Then all these people watching this, so now I can't even be calm. And then now you try to be vulnerable somewhere, but it's like, no, you can't because you're supposed to be strong because you got to be this and this and that.
Yeah, so who are you with all of that?
And it becomes the stress. It becomes all over the place because you're trying to live in the layer, right? So some people even look for certain positions to feel like they have some meaning in life.
Yeah.
I've seen people. I've seen men think they wasn't nothing until they got married, and vice versa. I've seen women do the same thing. I've seen women not think they were nothing until they got married and finally got a husband, and they still didn't think they were nothing until they had some kids. Like, you're not a real woman until you had a baby. I've heard people say that to people.
Yeah. Yeah, true story.
I've heard people, not think they're anything until they have a certain career,
Yep.
or a position at a certain place,
Right. And then they get it. Then you get it. And then you realize you're just shuffling, looking for something in all the wrong places.
And because the layers alone can't sustain you.
Right.
Like, they
Right.
can't sustain themselves.
The layers alone
Listen.
can't sustain you because they can't sustain themselves. They are actually an extension. Okay. Your clothes cannot walk on their own.
Nope.
They
cannot.
Nor can your skin.
Yeah. If your clothes do
Right.
walk out your room on their own, okay, you need to talk to somebody else. You need to go ahead and
Put it on your Instagram story so we can see it.
right.
Yeah, that's crazy
That's so
because
funny to me.
it just can't.
Right, you can't.
It's made for somebody to feel it.
Yep. It's made for to be filled. The layers are made to be filled. The roles are made to be filled. They're not made to become who you are. You get
Some
it?
people get lost in that and they make that identity.
Hey man,
that layer.
that's what suicide comes from. Sometimes we see some of the most sane people with everything going for themselves, and then because they got lost in the layer.
Yeah. So what happened when you lose a layer?
Well, when you lose a layer, right?
Right.
Right. We saw that with the housing market. A lot of people, when the housing market crashed some years back, and a lot of people lost tons of money. These jokers were forgetting about their family. I saw one guy, he killed himself and his wife and all his kids. Craziness. Another place, one guy jumps off into the front of a train because he's like he lost everything. Because you're living in the layer.
Yeah.
And the
Can't see.
layers sometimes can be like a rug just pulled from under your feet. I've seen people that were married and they made their whole life about their spouse, either side.
Yeah.
And then
Tragic.
infidelity may happen.
Yep.
Or I just don't love you no more. Or all these different things. And before you know it, now the rug is pulled from under your feet.
I think that's too like the answer to depression.
Absolutely.
is people over obsessed with the layer.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
of course, if you go deeper, there's nothing to really be depressed about.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so
Our
you
idea-
clearly living for a layer or the success of whatever layer you think is most important in your life.
The society's idea of self is a layer. All these things that we try to build, bro,
Yeah.
they're layers, and we live in the layers. And what happens is you get caught in the layer. You know what I'm saying? And then you're trying to live there, you're trying to breathe there, but there's no oxygen there for you. We were talking about like going underwater just now and breathing underwater. You know what I'm saying? It's good to go out and live in the layer for a minute because they need to be filled, but you've always got to go back to get that air, that breath of life.
Come on now. Come on.
Right?
Yeah.
That in the beginning that be breathing, man. You got to go back and get that breath.
I
You
think, you was about to say something?
Well, yes, because we were talking about the guys that, like, did you know? I guess a good did you know for this, right? But like that some people can hold their breath up to 22 minutes underwater.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I want to strive for that. I ain't gonna lie. When you said that, I was kind
Really?
of like, yeah, like
Come on, let's see. Ready to go.
Y'all don't feel like y'all about to die? Right, I feel like I'm about to die. I can't. How long was that? 30 seconds?
I could have went longer, but I keep laughing at y'all. And then y'all keep talking just like we're going to talk back to it.
You're a beast. You won already, Jeremiah. Breathe.
I'll be
But
concerned.
breathe.
Hey, I'll be concerned about him because he'll do it till he passes out. He'll be like, and then he'll wake up talking about, well, I went for 2 minutes.
Who timed
It don't
it?
matter if you pass out.
Did y'all time
It's
it?
almost a minute. You almost with a minute.
No, I want a minute.
Want a minute? Oh.
One minute. That's what I was trying to get to.
It was-
Wow.
I get to a minute.
I must have went like 20
I
seconds.
can make
then.
21 more of those. 21 more.
With training.
Well, with training, because the capacity is there to do it,
Yeah.
right? There's some guys.
I'm proud of myself,
in these
boy.
tribes. Right.
Yeah,
There's some guys
give
in these
yourself
tribes.
a,
Give some
button.
claps, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some guys in these tribes that they fish for a living. And
Right
they have to
answer.
go, right. They fish for a living and they have to go underwater and stay under there for minutes at a time just to go down there and get the fish in certain tribes, different places. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
My village would be hungry the first.
I'm about to say, but if that's
first
a
couple weeks
necessity,
I'm there.
if that's a necessity
You
though,
can handle your business. Huh?
yeah.
Yeah, my first couple weeks there, though, if you drop me off at the tribe today, we're going to be hungry, but we fast in about 2 weeks. 3 weeks. I
Dang.
ain't ready, boy.
No, it wouldn't, Drell. You would hold your breath
It would go. It would
as
do
long
it.
as you needed to for you to catch. So, but you would be more
Because-
focused on catching the fish, though.
Because my insides, who I really am, would step up to the
Come on.
And then it will
That's what I'm
make
talking
my DNA. Oh my
That
God.
mug don't
That's
stop.
No, but like holding your breath.
This-
So I think sometimes living in those layers are like that too.
Ooh, that's good right there.
You
That's
get
good
it?
right there. Mm-hmm.
And you got to go into that role.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do feel like you're holding your breath because you're just like, I do not want to be doing this right now. You know what I'm saying?
And then so now you get to that point to where you can possibly or you do actually pass out from holding your breath too long.
Holding your breath too
You
long.
black
yeah.
out.
You black out, right? Right, then they got to revive you.
Yeah, everybody. You
Right.
seems like you know what's going on.
Smelling
What happened
salts.
to you?
Right. That's crazy.
But that's how life could be, bro.
That's how life is.
I'm about to say, that's how life happens
we
with a lot
call
of
that
people.
breakdown.
Yeah.
Nervous breakdown, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You hold your breath long enough, bro. It's like I want to see how long I could keep going, but I don't know how long I can keep going.
And then sometimes you might go so far and it's like I can't get back. Like there's a level of water that you can swim down, and you've gone so far that even if you start trying to come back to the top, you don't have enough time to get back to get your breath. Like it's almost like the point of no return. It's like that. And sometimes the layers can be like that.
Yeah.
When you're living in them.
That's good. That's
now,
true.
Now, one with God
Consumed
says,
by it now.
consumed by it. One with God says,
Whew.
What?
No, I'm about to say, because then when you get to that point too, sometimes like you just click out and you just keep going and you just dive deeper into that layer because you know you can't get out.
You can't get out right.
Yeah, so
You
And-
claim it
submerge
now.
yourself,
It's
yeah.
like,
All right,
and
now
don't
you
tell me
talk-
nothing about it.
All right, now you talking about something else. 'Cause I've heard of this before too, where you can swim so deep in the ocean where you can breathe. There's a level. It's like 33 feet or something.
hell?
Man, I promise. I swear I studied it.
What pocket of water is that?
Who gonna test that out?
I mean, there's a place where you get to so deep in
That's
the water, but humans
crazy.
can't really do it. So, no, but you get to a certain level of water where the air changes and like you can actually take in air. I'm serious. I've read that before.
So that's based on like a scuba suit. Like you gotta.
I don't know the school. I'm gotta go. I'm gonna find.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
But cause I ain't just come up there in my
crazy.
mind. I read it. It was
Yeah.
like because 33 is a number. Yeah. And it was like 33 feet or something. Then it like changes. Then like your body takes in more oxygen, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's like you would have to go all the way.
Yeah, to find
Yeah,
out.
right? Because you can't come back up. It's point of no return.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Sheesh.
But that's almost like crucifixion.
Yeah.
Like dying, like going all the way. Come on now,
Yeah.
come on now.
Yeah.
But
They
living in
said
the
you weren't
layers.
gonna be able to breathe down there.
So so layers.
This come past from me.
Right. So now living in the layers. So now you have to live beyond the layer.
Yeah.
Right? Now some people seclude themselves from the layer, so they try to go inside and they don't feel no rolls. You know what I'm saying? I've been like that before. I know you've been like that before. Yeah, I know you've been like that before too. You just kind of be like, I'm going to myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, hey, y'all got to figure that out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True story.
But I think the key is to go beyond the layers. You know what I'm saying? And crucify yourself past what those identifications are.
Yeah.
Y'all get it?
Yeah, you got to think about what made the layer in the first place.
Yep, what made
It's
it.
always something. It's always the invisible realm
Right.
that made the layer that you think is so important.
Right.
And so that
Now,
makes
sometimes
it less
you created
important.
it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you created a layer for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I want to stress that you cannot identify yourself with a layer.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't care what role you're playing.
Right.
Name them. Start naming them again. Come on. Come on, name them. Come on.
Father, brother,
brother,
mother, sister.
son,
Wife, husband.
husband, pastor, friend, boss, CEO,
boss, yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Employee,
employee, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? All these different
Partner.
things. All that, right? Like you cannot live in that identification.
Yeah.
That is not who you really are.
All right.
That is
Oh, and your career roles.
your career roles. That's a whole nother
know?
ball game, right? Like your career roles and the levels. and-
Accountant, whatever you are.
Ain't nothing
Lawyer.
but some t-shirts.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing but some t-shirts, some sweatshirts, some button-up shirts, some suits, some three-piece suits, some robes,
Yeah.
some, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
some jeans, whatever. It ain't nothing, underwear, they ain't nothing, all that stuff is just that.
Yeah.
And you cannot be defined by that. Those things can accent who you really are.
Right, right,
And
right.
give you the opportunity to work in a certain area of life. But you cannot define yourself by that.
And
Because
really, go ahead.
Yeah, because if you do, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, everything you actually want in those layers for whatever you think is success in that layer, what you really want, you really won't get until you can see. I mean, I know this kind of deep, but until you can see the kingdom of God, that's your core layer. It's not even a layer. It's like who you are.
Yeah, it's cool.
Right. Until you can see that or seek that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really can't create success. The success you're looking for would automatically gravitate to that layer, with all that layer can be
I'm glad you
in
said
your life.
gravitate. Because it's pulling.
Okay. Yeah.
Who you really are is pulling what you should really have, what you should be. I saw an article the other day, and I think I DM'd it to you, and I DM'd it to somebody else, but I'm going to send it to you. But a guy was talking about marriage, and we just talk about that on here because it's a big deal. And he was saying, you know, so many people are looking for it, when in actuality, I think that you should be focusing on your relationship with who you are, who you truly are, and then the gravity of who you really are pulls what you should have. And wouldn't that be doper for you to just
Yeah.
be who you really are and draw a person or a career?
It's too much work, bro.
You see what I'm saying? Go out looking for it. Right? That's why he says, if you're going to look for something, look for the kingdom.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it'll grab. It's like the core of the earth right now. There's layers. If you do, I think it's geology or whatever. But if you do it, you can see there's layers, and there's the crust, and then there's the mantle. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the core,
Yeah.
and it's in the earth, and that's where gravity's coming from.
Yeah.
The pull is coming from the core. You know what I'm saying? But because there's different layers, we never get to the heat. of the core, right?
Yeah.
Because there's layers. Gravity pulls, but there's enough in between us to keep us. And of course, we don't want to be in that part of it. You know what I'm saying? But it's the center of a thing that pulls things. That's the gravity
Yep.
that pulls things to you. Wouldn't it be easy? All these things will be.
Added.
They're
Yep.
like something coming to
Yep.
you.
Yep.
That's the ultimate layer of scripture.
Yep.
Yeah, because in
is.
that aspect too, like I don't fear like losing anything.
Right.
Because
Right.
whatever it's gonna come right back to
coming to
where
me.
I am, as long as
Yeah.
I'm
Money
solidified in
coming.
that. Right.
Right. No.
Right.
That's real. We didn't understand it. Be who you're supposed to be. Know who you really are. And all the things
Yep.
that are supposed to be with you going to come to you.
Yep.
You know, I just said that just now, and I realized they're having a conversation with some friends that all money ain't good money. So just because it come don't mean it's supposed to be the thing that you have.
No.
All money ain't
Oh my
good
God.
money. All honey
So
ain't
much
good
weight
honey.
into that laugh.
You hear me?
Yeah.
All honey ain't good honey. Right?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
story.
It's a true story. So everything that comes don't mean it's supposed to be the thing.
Right.
It's supposed to
Yeah.
be there.
Yep.
But a lot of times people don't care enough about deciphering between that and that. It's just like I want
Right.
whatever's coming.
Right. I want whatever's coming. I want. I want. I want. Love
Yeah.
my shepherd, I shall not.
Won't.
Take no thought what you gonna eat, what you gonna drink, all this stuff. You fixing it, bro.
Yeah.
I don't need you to have. I know that you have desires, but cool. But do this.
All right.
Go to the core first.
Yeah.
Seek who you really are 1st Look for that. Don't look for the things that you desire. Look for that first, and all these layers
Yep.
will be added. And see, when God adds a layer, He makes the layer one.
Yep. Good point too, because we when we looked up the etymology of layer,
Oh, read it.
it meant binding.
Yeah, read that thing, girl.
Yeah, we ain't done an etymology in a while, huh?
I don't know. I feel like we do it every time. I think sometimes
We ain't do it last one. Last
lately,
two
I
episodes.
don't think we like make it a headline
point,
anymore.
right.
It's just kind of like read it.
A segment.
If we have one.
Etymology.
So the earliest definition.
Yo, somebody get your mans.
Hey, bro, Jingle Master, boy. Etymology. We got to record that. and
When
put it
your
on
friend
the
can
thing.
sing.
I'm gonna start calling that boy Jamie.
Oh
Let's
my
go,
God.
man. Hey, let's go, man. Jingle 2000. You heard me? Jingle 2000, boy. You know what that? You don't know about the Jamie Foxx show. You don't know. Jingle 2000.
Yeah, go.
Etymology. Oh, here we go.
You ready?
Let's do it. Here we go.
Foxx
Hit the button that ain't got nothing on it. Ready, go. Etymology.
Dating back to the late 14th century.
Oh my God,
So, we are the shit.
bro.
Oh, my
Welcome
God.
to-
Oh,
my God.
This can't be real life.
That's a shift, bro. That's a shift.
This can't be real life, dog.
That's the old radio
Y'all-
show,
hey,
bro.
real talk though, y'all both have great like on mic voices.
Really? I don't
Yeah.
like my voice
Hey,
when I
bro.
listen to it.
Bro. You too, man.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No, you
No.
absolutely do.
I think you feel like I feel
Cap.
about my own
That's cap,
voice.
bro.
That's not
Really?
cap. How was that cap?
That's cap, bro.
We're going to do a poll. If you're
Wait,
watching
but
right now,
Why don't you think?
leave
I know
a
I don't like
comment
hearing my own
leave a
voice.
comment at this time if you think that Pastor J has a good radio microphone voice. Just leave a comment right now. We're going to go back and watch him.
Aww.
See the clock on 33 minutes. That means Jesus is in what I'm saying.
Ooh, it is.
Well, put yourself in there too. Tell them about you and her then. Don't
No,
just
you
make it
already said
one-sided.
that about us. You already said that about us.
So it's understood.
But you said you didn't.
I don't.
So I'm going to prove it by
All
the
right,
comments.
bet. All right. Put money on it.
Bet. Put money on it. But everybody say that when they put money on it then.
Because, hey, once you say put money on it, that's going to
serious.
tell somebody they really want better now.
Nah, it gets serious. They be like, nah, I'm
playing.
good. I was just playing. I don't
Yeah.
really know if they're going to win.
Now, you put your money on it. When you put yourself on it, boy, it's over with.
Put it on my mom.
Oh my God, that's too much.
Go ahead, etymology.
Back to the 18th
Yeah.
century.
14.
If
One
those were
who
close.
are that lays.
Okay.
And then the passive sense of a thickness of some material laid over a surface, and that's basically what we
Surface,
think
yeah,
now.
over a surface, yeah.
So it can have different depths, different thicknesses.
It said the earliest English use was in cookery. That this is perhaps from French, the French word "lou." I don't know.
Yeah.
It's italicized, meaning binding.
Wow. Binding. It's like religion. Religion means to bind. It's binding. Wow. So layers.
Ah,
Layers in religion.
I was just still reading.
Yeah. Layers, religion, laws. Because laws are layers.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
y'all ready? Rich and ruler,
Yeah.
layers. Right? He go to Rich and ruler and said, I want eternal life. So he's going to the core. Like this joke said, he ain't say nothing about he want to be a good person. He's saying,
Boom.
Let them inherit eternal life. All right. So Jesus started asking about the layers.
Yeah.
He'll test you with the layers. Ooh, because maybe you have to master your layers too. Ooh,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? He said, "You come." He said, "I've observed, all the commandments. I'm the father, mother. All Jesus, just not listen them out." He said, "I've observed all those from my youth." He said, "Okay, there's
Cool.
one thing that you're lacking. So I need you to go and sell what you have, give it to the poor, and take up the cross and follow me.
So get rid of all your layers.
Get rid of all the layers because you still, even though you say you did all those layers with your laws, you still didn't overcome the layers which you think you are. You're rich, you're young, you're a ruler, all this stuff like that. So I got to get rid of these layers.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with being rich or young or a ruler. All the laws. But I need to show you how to. Jesus said I didn't come to do away with the law, I come to
Fulfill it.
Feel.
Yeah.
so because and then go later on, Paul says what the law could not do that was weak to the flesh. So you've been trying to live by the layer, and it's been failing miserably,
Yeah. No, that's good.
right? So Jesus never says, "I am the law, the rules, and the steps."
Right.
I'm the law. He said, "I'm the way, the truth, and the life."
Yeah.
You get it? So now that's where life really comes from, going all the way back to the root of who you really are.
Yeah.
One with the Father, one from Him, created from His being. You get it? That's truth. Then all these things
Things will be added to you.
will be added. So rich and ruler represents how we feel about the layers. All right, another layer. You
Bro.
ready? And then right after that, the
Okay.
same passage. I'm gonna get to the same
I
passage.
like
I
how
got
all
it.
that's in that. I like
Well,
how
it's
all that's in that.
right after that, he says, "How hard is it for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God?
Yeah.
Kingdom of heaven." Right. In other words, how hard is it for somebody that has something already to enter into a new way of doing things? To enter into a true way, right? And he said, but and then the disciples, they always worried about themselves. Well, Lord, what we gonna do? We got we
We got stuff.
yeah, we got stuff. We left all. We left all. Why you ain't talking about us? Why you ain't telling us it? Right.
Boy, if you.
That's layers too, right? But then he said, there's nobody that's left houses and lands and mothers and fathers and wives and children.
Yeah.
And he lists his whole thing. Like everything that you think could be important to you is on that list. He said, for my sake, the gospel that won't receive 100-fold now in this time, like on earth, of all those different things.
Yeah.
But it's you got to pivot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you go from being defined by the layers to defining the layers. Right? You go from being identified by the layers to identifying the layers.
Yeah.
See the difference?
Yep.
Then it doesn't. It seems like the same stuff, but it's in the wrong position.
Yep.
But then when you go from your true identity, you begin to fulfill the law.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that reminded me of Jesus when they was coming in to see him. He was like, who is my mother, my brother?
Layers.
Except him, they
He's
do the will of my
always
father.
dealing
Yeah.
with anything. So, all right, can we define layers? This is one definition of layers that we're talking about right now. Anything that's trying to identify you, right, other than your oneness with God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a layer.
Yep.
That's
So
a
he-
great definition.
Yep.
He deals with the layers.
Yep.
He deal with, who's my mother, my father, my mother, my brother. But then they do the will of my father. You see what I'm saying? He said, I ain't come to bring peace. I come to bring a sword, separating father from son and mother from daughter. Another one, he says this. He says, a good one. We're going to put that one in there.
Yeah.
He said, another one, he says, don't call no man on earth your father. What? I'm like, man, what you talking about, right? You got to catch him. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a relationship with a father or a mother or a brother. It doesn't mean that. But it means that you cannot bank or build, that relationship cannot be the foundation of who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
Because how many times have those layers failed us?
Yep.
Continuously.
You can think about when a friend has failed you. You can think about when a mother, a father. You can think about when a brother or sister or those things have either failed you or rubbed you wrong or misunderstood you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Stronger than mothers and brothers. Like on the Love Hero song. Like that's the concept, right? Plug. Love Hero.
Streaming now on Spotify.
Streaming now.
On all digital platforms.
For all digital. Let's see your radio
Get it
voice.
today.
Nah, chill out.
You heard it? You heard it? Did you hear him? Did you hear him?
Nah.
Hey, I like that.
Oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, boy. But I'm saying
Right.
so we can't define ourselves by those things.
I want to make a point because I
on, make your
think
point.
when you said mastering the layer, it makes mastering your layer mastering the layers, right? It comes with really understanding who you are.
Right.
Okay, I feel like when I'm about to talk about Nicodemus and being born again, to be born again, it's really you have to renew the core that you were working from. So I think
Good
people
stuff. Come on
think
now.
they're born again when they say a prayer. That's not being born again. It's like until you have pulled back those layers and you've actually rebirthed your core from above.
Rebirth your core. That's dope.
Yeah, that's now you are a new person.
Now you're a new creature.
Yeah, and now everything that comes from you is good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just want to point that out. Like
Yeah.
that's mastering the layers. Like
Yeah.
pulling it back. We want to, bring people to Christ. Well, you need to have that conversation with them
Right.
about what being reborn means.
What that really means.
Yeah, it means you need to, take some time, maybe talk about those layers that they may have and they
Right.
may be overthinking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or putting too much pressure on themselves to make successful or whatever. Yeah, pull all that back. Go back to who you are. Is it coming from men or is it coming from God?
Yeah.
And now when you rebirthed that,
I thought you were about to say rebrand, but I love that too.
yeah, when you rebrand that,
Yep.
you're born again,
Uh-huh.
and now you're a new creature.
Now you do, and old things,
Yeah.
That's-
old layers
Old layers
pass
have
away,
passed
and
away.
all layers
I become
become new.
Ooh.
You know what I thought about? You said it when you said fixing the layers, like right. I started thinking about. We started off with the clothes, right? We all know people. Everybody has clothes, but everybody can't dress.
True.
So sometimes,
Story.
so sometimes people have the right things in the
TTSO.
closet, right?
Dang.
But they can't put them together, right? Right? But it's almost like saying, you pray a prayer. Now I'm born again. So it's almost like saying, you know what? I'm going to dress better. That means nothing.
True.
Right.
That is just a confession. And you may believe it in your heart.
Ah,
But it ain't nothing. Right?
do you do it?
Until you actually, when Paul, and here's another thing, you ready? When Paul gets converted, right? He was Saul, right? When he gets converted, Jesus sends him to somebody to show him how to live in his conversion.
True.
Right.
True.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Sends you to somebody to show you
That's a
how to
good point.
live from the identity. So now I broke you down and changed your identity. I know who you are, but now you need to learn how to live in the new identity. He's
Got
always
some things to learn.
He always
Yep.
gonna teach somebody. Got to show you how to dress.
So
That's good.
why do you
We're born again. I like that.
feel or think that people find it so difficult or so uninteresting or unimportant to really focus on the core or focus on mastering that one?
Yeah, because
Like, why do you think the layers matter
Distractions?
so much?
it's propaganda.
Oh yeah.
It's the propaganda. It's everything around us. Everything around us says layer. Everything around us says layers are most important.
Yeah. And getting you to add layers on
Listen,
layers.
listen. In church,
But it'd be like incomplete layers, and then you add like you don't even need that right now. Like, go put that down.
it don't
Take
matter
that
though.
off.
Right.
Take it off, but it don't matter. Why did you buy that? It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter because
That's a good point.
we put. So why? Let's go back to the core. Where do you place your value? We placed our value in the layer. You get it?
Yep.
We place our level of importance and thinking in the layers. And why is that? Because we've been conditioned that way. Somebody told us that. And so now we're not even feeling anything because we're so busy trying to live in the feeling.
And I think we're caught up on watching other people's layers, because you really don't really know people.
Right.
It's core, really.
You see their
You're
layers.
watching their layers, so you start focusing on yours
Right.
and
And-
rushing.
And some people that you see that you may aspire to, follow them out and see, they're actually living from their core. But you won't know because you're standing from a distance. See, the closer you, here we go, you ready?
Bruh.
The closer you get to the core, the more you feel the heat.
True.
But you're standing off afar, so it's cold to you. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
now you're looking, you can never, you're looking at somebody from a distance, and all you can see is layers. All right, right now, we're to leave here. Y'all clowned me about that in one of the episodes because it was weird. Y'all said, but I said sometimes I'll be driving on the road and I see a house and I'll be wondering what it looked like on the inside. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, just think about it though for a minute.
Yeah.
You're driving down the
creepy.
road. Shut up. You're
I think about who people are driving in the car next to me.
Well,
You
there
ever
it
think
is.
about that?
I
Like,
do. Of course.
what
Yeah,
are
I do
y'all
that. Yeah,
thinking?
yeah. Like, what do they think? I wonder
Where
what they
y'all
talking about right
going?
now. Right? And then be like, I wish I could get in that car and you get in that mug and be like a fart. Like somebody just farted or something. Be like, oh, take me back out.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
serious.
be thinking that.
My imagination goes all the way over there. So, but just imagine right now you're gonna drive, you're gonna
Like,
leave
yeah.
here,
Like,
and you're gonna pass by houses, right?
You need to transfer some of that, like re-engage or redirect. Some of that
I mean,
energy,
but it works.
that
It works.
imagination
It
energy
works.
to some other
It,
stuff.
it works, man. Because I be every
It all
joint
comes
supply.
together.
Every joint supply.
Alright,
Every joint supply.
alright.
Nah, but like, hey, like, all right. You ever seen a house? I have done this before. I did this recently. There's a big house not too far from where my parents stay, and it's huge house, and it's been there ever since I've been a little kid. But I've never seen the inside the house. But it was a big house. So the house came up for sale recently, and we went and looked inside the house.
That's funny.
Right? And
All those years of
It
wonder.
was mediocre.
what? What? They're like, oh, okay, and then we just left.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Had a whole bunch of old, outdated stuff in there, but for so long. You're just looking on the outside.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, man, they got a fountain in the front and all that kind of stuff. And finally, when you go on a lot of
Inside.
people are like that.
Yeah.
You can meet people like, oh, man, she this and this and that. Then
That's a good
you sit
point.
down and talk. You ever done that, like, with a guy, like, you talking to a girl, you talking, like, I did that. It was like, and then it's like, you sit down and talk, and it's like, wait. Ain't
What's
nothing in there.
there?
Ain't nothing in there. Knock, knock,
Gotta
knock,
close
knock,
some
knock.
of
Ain't
this.
nothing, right?
Stop, you gonna hurt yourself.
That's how it be, though.
Oh my God.
Father, save me from this hour.
Save me, Father. Why you got a knot on your head? Nah, don't worry about it.
Oh my God.
No, that's real God to honest talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I prided myself. I never wanted to be that person.
True.
When you
true.
get to me and ain't nothing further.
Right.
Oh my God, I will not be that shallow. Not, like I'm not. I will,
Yeah.
So I need to know who I am from the inside, from the core. Feel the heat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so, but that's
Have legitimate depth.
well. But
Yeah.
back to the question is because of everything publicizes layer. Go get a degree. Are degrees good? Yes, but a degree is nothing if you don't know who you are.
Are they good?
Well, I mean, it depends on what you're doing, but
Right.
but what I do know for all degrees, I can say this 100% for every degree that's available or that you can get. That if you don't know who you are from the core, your degree is useless.
Yeah.
I can say that about every marriage, husband, wife, your children. In the words of Michael Jordan, forget these kids, right? Like, right? Like, I can say it for everything that you think you built yourself off of. Your church, your titles, your parish, your politician, everything. I can
Yeah.
say this 100% sure that no matter what position or layer or thing that you wear, it is 100% obsolete if you do not know who you really are. And you may be able to fake it for a little while.
Yeah.
And get over the road. But the truth always comes to the light. That Jesus
Yeah.
says.
Right.
There's everything. The truth will not always be hidden. And so what we got to do is stop playing these layers, stop living in these layers. And define
Yeah.
ourselves by
Stop
these
thinking
layers.
it's a competition too.
Yeah,
Yo,
absolutely.
I got
And
a
you're
good
not
example.
rushing or racing anybody.
So I like to use present day situations or whatever. But let's go. It ain't present day.
But
It's like a couple years.
Let's go.
But like KD, like he wanted to win the championship so
How about
bad.
Katie? Go ahead.
No, he thought he wanted to win the championship so bad because he thought that was going to like give him some type of joy, fulfillment that he had been longing for.
Right.
Then when he got it, he was kind of like, that ain't it.
He left there the same way he left OKC. It was the same emotions.
Yep. Nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
He
Because,
got two rings.
right, but nothing changed. MVPs.
MVPs.
Finals MVPs. Nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
And nothing changed about how we thought about him either.
Well, some people got worse thoughts about it.
Words of the right. But it's like, oh man, he's really like we didn't. Right? That ain't your conversation. You don't really know
Yeah,
what we're talking
so what I wanted to say is the NBA is a reality TV show. And what happens is these roles that they have these guys playing.
about. We're not about to have this blasphemy on this.
Yeah,
We're not about to have this.
kick you out, man.
Yeah, this is the NBA
And
blasphemy.
KD, no, I don't even know. What
But
you're
that's
talking about.
that's
Who's KD?
KD. He plays for
Anytime somebody repeats what you say,
And then look around.
Wait, is his uniform
Can I get a
green?
lifeline?
Is his uniform green? No?
bro,
Wait, let me think.
this
I
is
know
the
who
most
this is.
girl-like,
Wait.
No.
like
I know who he is.
unsports-like female
KD.
talk that you've
No,
ever had.
Hold on. You know LeBron James?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know
Wait, I know KD.
you know
Let me
Michael
think.
Jordan?
You know Steph, huh?
Yeah.
Because he light skinned.
Oh my God,
So
no.
you know Klay Thompson?
Klay Thompson.
Okay, no. Oh my
I do.
God.
I just gotta see him.
No, that's not.
But I
That's
know.
not
don't know him.
Wait, what's
see, that's another podcast right
Let me
there.
think.
If you need to see it, you
is
don't
he-
know it.
what's- I'm seeing a guy's face, and I
KD,
wonder if
what it
that's
look like?
KD.
What color he is? What skin color?
He
he is?
brown.
Brown like me brown. Or
Yeah, like you brown.
okay. Mm.
And
You don't know what you're talking about.
and he's a little awkward.
Awkward. What do you mean when you say awkward?
Okay, he was in a movie. Yes, he was in a movie.
Oh, don't put it up there.
He was in a movie.
All you gotta say is nappy hair, bro.
Okay,
He
yes.
don't brush his- oh my
Naps.
God.
But he was in a movie, and he was so awkward in that movie. That's how I remember who he was.
What movie you
It
said?
was like a new
hold on.
like
So you
Mike.
don't-
saw
hold on.
No,
Yeah,
it was
right.
like a new
So you
like
don't-
Mike or something like that.
Yeah,
it
it was a
weird.
little cheesy movie he did. You remember that
Yeah,
movie? he did?
Thunderstruck.
Yeah.
That's what it was
So,
called.
so you don't know him at all about basketball.
No,
you
I-
know him about.
movie?
Well, I just was trying to, identify what he looked like, and I had to go back to the movie. I've seen him play.
Forget all of the thousands of games.
Wait, let me guess.
all the buckets,
He
all the
plays.
NBA finals.
that
plays-
movie though.
He plays for Chicago. Okay, wait.
Hey, no. See, she be the one to walk up and say, "Oh, I loved you in Thunderstruck."
He's
With the
in
DVD
red.
you wanna-
He wears red.
Yo, Nikia,
Hey,
stop.
hey.
Who does he play with? Steph.
Used to.
He used to. I'm getting hot.
No, you're
I'm
not. No,
getting
you're not. She's talking about, okay, no, you're not. You're still freezing.
He retired.
Hey,
Oh, why y'all playing me then? He don't play for nobody team.
He does. He playing.
Oh.
He does.
and you believed it.
You believed it. Hey,
I
so,
know LeBron.
no,
You
but,
was a sucker.
But KD, right? KD,
Yeah.
right? Like it didn't.
You played yourself.
You got to get back to the core. Y'all played.
Man, NBA ain't real.
You got to get back to your core. It ain't real to you because obviously you don't know nothing
You know,
about
you know.
it.
Y'all all
it.
caught up in that layer. Time for y'all to let that go. Who is the NBA?
It's actually real people. Oh my God.
Yo,
But my head is going like this right now.
come get her. Go to your room.
Is the podcast over?
Go to your room.
Oh my God.
Nah, get back to KD.
Bro.
No, but going back to the core, you got to have something because if you add all those things on top of it, it'll still never be fulfilling.
Right.
That's why Jesus said I didn't come to do away,
With the law.
and I didn't come to show you the law either. I come to fulfill it because there had to be some fulfillment. You ever do something? You ever like we were talking about sometimes you can get a new job or a new career or do a new thing, but you still don't feel the fulfillment of it. It feels good for a minute. But you still don't feel the fulfillment. Like you don't feel fulfilled. And the only place that can do that is your oneness with God.
Yeah.
When you're fulfilled from there, I don't need any titles, don't need a position. I don't need any relationships or anything like that. Like I am God and me and our oneness is enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about this, me and God is enough like you depriving yourself of stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying confident in that, knowing that fulfills me.
Yeah.
And then all these things will be added.
Yeah.
So now when this position comes, I am a great CEO because I know who I am. So
Yeah.
even if that's taken away from me, I know who I am. I'll be a great husband or father or brother or whatever role you want to play, right? Because I was great at it before I was at it. You know what I'm saying? And it's ever taken away from me.
Yeah.
But I see people too sometimes that are broken down because different people may, pass away or different things like that, and you have to recheck. You have to recheck what's going on because if you built everything on here, right, and not know what's here, it'll make you check what's here. Then if you build it there, it'll break it down. You'll lose it.
Yeah.
I won't go too. No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? But it's just you built your foundation on that layer.
So true.
Truthfully, you know what's funny? Everybody around us are layers. Even a relationship in our lives are layers, but we only connect on the truth of who we are. You You get it? If even us right now, if we connect on our friendship and just connect on that, it's still a layer. We got to connect further than that.
Yeah.
The one is, and then it fulfills our
Friendship.
friendship. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's dope. So it's just,
I
you
love
know,
it.
we can't get caught up living in the layers. There's so many layers to that conversation too.
Yeah.
I think, which is the point, you know what I'm saying, of what we're doing, because it wants to spark your mindset on your own search. Once again, in RedIn30, we're not trying to be preachy, or we're not trying to be absolute or tell you what. Our goal is to point to some things that are absolute, which is our oneness with God and our
story.
truth in Christ, right?
Yep.
And then for you to go on a search on your own. You know what I'm saying? And once you go on a search on your own, you start to seeing things in the way that you should see them. I think that's dope.
Yeah.
It is dope.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Yep. True story.
True story.
Love it.
So
Love it.
RedIn30, RedIn30, Follow us on at RedIn30 on Instagram, at RedIn30 on Twitter, and then RedIn30 on Facebook. And just, you go to RedIn30.com and see all the stuff we got going on there. And once again, we're coming up with some new content and different things like that. So share these things when you see them.
Yeah.
Share them with your friends, and we're going to start spreading it.
Yeah, it don't cost
For
nothing for you to
sure.
share.
Don't cost nothing for you to share.
True.
Actually, it don't cost nothing for you to share. And actually, we're about to open up to where you'll be able to support financially too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll be able
yeah.
to buy some
Yeah.
gear, but then you'll be able, because we got some initiatives to go on to some of these college campuses and some of these different things and do RedIn30 live in different places. And so we want to make sure that we're just doing what we got to do.
Yeah.
To
This is a conversation that needs to spread across every campus,
Absolutely.
every state,
we
everywhere.
need to go do
Yeah.
some of these churches. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
it just needs to happen, man. And it's
Yeah.
universal.
It is.
Jesus is the universal language.
Yeah. so
People
we
don't
gotta
think so.
start that.
But yeah, we got to start it.
Yeah, we gotta start that.
So those are the plans. So
Yeah.
RedIn30.
Yeah,
Y'all
Red
good?
30.
All right, RedIn30, we out.
We are.
Thank you for watching and listening to the RedIn30 podcast, where we talk about Jesus, truth, and you. Make sure you subscribe and share this with somebody that you love. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and like us on Facebook. We are RedIn30, so you need to be Red in 30. RedIn30, RedIn30.